I know the media did get to review. So yeah, like it's awesome. Get ready, Josh. We're gonna start hearing about how it's hot. It's too hot. Watch. I already see people complaining about the panels don't work. Apparently the panels don't work on it. Like the slim panels, which we knew, I guess. They showed a chart. But get ready. Yeah, the 3Cs. That's right, Manios. They're all coming out, the 3Cs. They're all ready. They're all ready, the 3Cs. They're all ready to start coming out. Liquid metal issues. Yep, all that stuff. All that crazy stuff is coming. That's coming.
25. It's coming.
All the crazy stuff is coming. Fan torque. They cheapened out on the GP on the fan. Watch. Get ready for the unboxings. This is gonna be a week of entertainment next week. I'm gonna be losing my voice screaming what we're doing here. I'm gonna be losing my friggin' voice. Oh, the fan talks. Oh, it's low. The fans. They cheapened out on the motherboards are cheaper. The heat sinks are different. Wait. Austin, his friggin' nipples are piercing the screen. He can't wait. Austin is that piece of trash. He can't wait. He's gonna be like, the heat sink is different. Meanwhile, Microsoft gutted. They said vapor chamber. They said vapor no more. They gave an empty spot, put a picture of Phil in it, and everybody's like, it's better. The Xbox without is better. Vapor chamber got pulled out for real chamber. Oh shit. But I can't wait to get mine next week, man. I can't wait. Like I'm ready to go. I want to get my PlayStation 5 Pro and start. You know, I got my SSD right here. Not native 4K. That's right, Gyro. That's right. What's up, Lucci? How you doing, man? Upscaled. Wait, you're gonna hear all the sob stories from all the clowns. They're gonna be lined up at the door. The Bonham and Baileys. They're gonna be all lined up now that they all got the hands on. But yeah, I'm telling you, it is definitely it's been a long time. It's gonna test temperature with his phone. Maybe screwdrivers, they're gonna complain about no stand. Watch it knock over. Oh look, I can knock it over. Like all the horse shit. All that horse shit they're gonna do. I can't wait. It's gonna be a goddamn it's gonna be a constant clown song. This thing's gonna be on replay. I'm gonna be playing this my friggin' clown song is gonna be non-stop with the clowns. They're gonna be doing this all week. All week. It falls over easily. Oh, I can't believe. So this is the one of the couple things I want to show to everybody. So I can't. I think it was Zuby. Shout out to Zoobs. Putting together the where was it? I'm amazed at how many games are going to be dropping with this thing, and I'm surprised they're giving out all the updates now. So like it's ready to go. Yeah, Tidix 86 80. Look at this thing. He has here. How do I not have a display capture on this thing? Hold on. I'll just do this one. Yeah, they got 84 games. They got Alan Wake, Albatross, Apex Legends, Assassin's Creed, Bad Chase, Baldur's Gate 3, Callisto Protocol, The Crew, Motorfest, Dead Island 2, Diablo 4, College Football is on there, FC, Soccer. What else we got? Empire of the Ants. Oh, damn. Final Fantasy 7, we know that. F1, Fortnite. Oh, shit. Fortnite. The First Descendant, The Finals, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo, Helldivers 2, Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, Madden, Marvel Rivals. Damn, they even said something? Marvel Rivals? I'm excited for Marvel Rivals. This is what Tidix did. Mortal Kombat was on there. No Man's Sky. Yeah, I saw them. They mentioned something. Quantum Error. Resident Evil 4. Rise of the Ronin. Somebody said earlier about Rise of the Ronin. All the Spider-Mans. Smells Like Phil Ness. Oh, no, I mean, Smells Like a Mushroom. PSVR 2 games. That's right. Yeah, we got Kayak, which was one of the launch titles. Subside and Cybercube VR. I don't know what the hell. Wolverine. What the hell's Wolverine on there? Holy shit. What Thunder? It will reach there with Wolverine. But yeah, dude, that is wild. So it's coming. But you know, then they had I just feel like it's taking so long. Like, and then the Horizon comparison they showed. Like, we went over these before, man, but my goodness, like, it is like night and day. This comes out tomorrow. Happy Halloween! With this, I'm gonna play through it again. Dude, this is like a remake. This is basically like a redo. Look at the fruit! Look at the fruit! Look at the fruit! See, Josh says the Pro had 45 at launch. But it is like night and day. Like, look, there's this thing. Look at this. There's nothing there. It's ridiculous. And for $10, dude, $10, it's insane. But it is like night and day. So I think definitely, you know, getting that recode of this thing and running through it on the PS5 Pro, like, well, definitely that's something I think that they timed pretty well with that. So yeah, and again, you see all the support that they're getting. No more Halo fruits now. It's just, and like I said, it's going to be all the new stuff. Like, can't wait to see. Like, they're already excited about Janky Jones running on the PS5 Pro, the Indiana Jones hands-on. They were hyped up about the PS5. But yeah, like, you know, like I said, like, Sony makes some good moves, and you know, they got these great games and stuff. Then they made the bad moves, you know. But if you know, and then yeah, like, this is what is this?
In my counts in typical play.
Yeah, this is this is Dragon Age. So this is another
Series
one.
X, unsurprisingly, is just about.
So here we go. And then this is what I was talking about, how the PS5, just the PS5, not even the Pro and fidelity mode. Aaron Walsh adding the hard questions. Who asked for this? I don't know who asked for this. But let's listen to this.
Series X, unsurprisingly, is just about identical to PS5, running at very similar settings. Fidelity and performance clock in at 1080p and 720p respectively.
Oof.
In my counts in typical play, with the performance mode at a minimum of 504p and the fidelity mode again holding at 1080p.
Oof.
Ray tracing is featured in the fidelity mode and absent in the performance mode, and other visual settings across the modes appear similar to PS5 as well. Series S is a bit more interesting. We get the same visual toggles as the other consoles, a performance and a fidelity mode. The fidelity mode runs at about 640p internally typically, with a visual output that looks noticeably.
How the hell is 648p high fidelity mode on the S? Holy shit. Oh man, my stomach hurts.
When I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games.
Your fidelity quality mode is 640p and sub 720. Oh. Oh no! We're going real finesse with this one. Holy crap! That's going. We're doing 620p. Get in there, Phil. Get in there, Phil. Give it to the VIPs. Give it to the VIPs. Oh man! Not like this. Not like this. Oh my goodness. Oh no! Not like that, Phil. That's fidelity mode on the S.
Output that looks noticeably softer than typically. The fidelity mode runs at about 648p internally typically, with a visual output that looks noticeably softer and
how is this thing gonna survive? I gotta ask you. This is the fireside chat with the gaming grinders. You're the ultimate grinders. You're the VIP grinders. You're in the champagne rooms. You're in the lounge hanging out with Herman. Let me ask you a question. How does this S survive next year's games? How? Soft. How the hell does the S survive, grinders? I need to know. Do you have the answers? Do you have the answer? Because I have no clue. I have no answer to this. I don't know how this thing survives. Let me be running wireframes on this thing.
Gaming.
A juicy. Oh no, juicy 64 frames. Oh no, not juicy. Oh man. I don't get it. I don't know how it survives. Nice, Neil. He got backup for his Grindhouse membership. You'll be in the VIP a while. Thanks, Neil. A little spud that could not. Exactly, Toolman. How the hell does this thing gonna survive? 640p is their fidelity mode. And it's soft. He said it's friggin' soft. Oh, man. You got friggin' soft. How the hell is that fidelity? A lot of be skipping, I think. I think so. I think they're going to be trying to figure it out. I think so. They got the...
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-A-T.
And noisier than the visual output that looks noticeably softer and noisier than the other console's performance modes.
Look at this thing on the left. Yo, what's up, Michael? How you doing, man? Dude, I don't even know, Josh. I don't even... Look at this thing. Dude, I don't even know what the hell they're showing. This all looks horrible.
Performance mode goes down to roughly 432p internally usually.
What? How low can you go? How low can you go? Holy crap. How many P's we got left in this ship anyhow?
Prepare ship! Prepare ship! Prepare ship!
We're going to 400 something. What do we... Where do we go? How many more P's are left?
Internally usually. This mode goes down to roughly 432p internally than the other console's performance modes. Performance mode goes down to roughly 432p internally usually.
Dude, they're gonna have like 1p left. They're gonna be like, we're down to next year. They're gonna have S running in 1p.
Prepare ship! Prepare ship!
Jesus, how low? How low? Like, look at this thing. It doesn't even. The person blends into the wall. Like, is this even playable? Like, what the hell? Look at this left-hand side. 420p. We only got a few P's left. Dude, this is gonna be like next year when they drop friggin' the game. They're gonna be like, it's running for 2 P's. They're gonna be, we got 2 P's left. Oh my god. Look at this thing. You can't even find this shield. It's a blurry mess. There's only 420p's left. How low? I couldn't think it goes lower.
32p internally usually.
What?
Roughly 432p internally.
432p. Oh god. It's running at fidelity mode is 600 something p. And performance mode is 432p. Holy shit.
It's not even pink, it's raw.
And Coop has delivered undercooked salmon.
Look at Aunt Coop.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
I just need him.
This the way.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Battlefield. They're gonna be running out of peas next year, Don. Next year they're gonna be running out of peas. They're gonna be, guys, we're gonna muster up about 40 peas for this game. Phil's like, do we ship it? He's like, he's like, can we ship it? Phil's like, can we ship it? Like, Phil, we got at least 10 peas, and he's like, we could ship it. He's like,
Put this thing away. This is not worth
he's
it.
like, ship it. We got a couple of peas. Phil, we can muster up about 10 peas to get this game to run on the S. Ship it. Ship it. I can't believe it. Like, this is insane. This is insane. These games are coming out. Oh my god, the peas. I can't believe it. He said 600p.
About 648p internally.
That's their performance. That's their fidelity mode is 6 something. The fidelity mode is sub 720 is the fidelity mode. Fidelity, they need a new name for it. There's only 1p. That's right, Manio. There's only 1p. He's like, we got Phil Ness. There'll at least be 1p in the game. It's like, sir, Phil, we have no p's left for the S. He's like, we do have 1p. It's me.
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go!
There's only only one P left. It's the rise of P. Holy shit, there's only one P left. The Phil Ness. There's only one P. He's like, we got one P left. Phil, what do you mean you got a P? We can't get any P's left. He goes, we got one P left. He goes, I'm going to pull out. I can't with 420p.
And noisier than the other console's performance modes. Performance mode goes down to roughly 432p internally usually.
That is less than progressive scan. Remember when progressive scan was like 480i and 480p? We were like at 480i and that was interlaced, and then there was 480p, which is progressive scan. That was the last time I heard those numbers, 480i and 480p. Holy crap. And then it was 720p, and then it was 1080p and 1080i. But man, the last time I heard the numbers 480, that had to be about 20 years ago. I heard of those resolutions. Grinders, when's the last time you heard about 480 resolution? This is lower than 480. Dude, they were talking about 480 resolutions pre-Xbox, the original one. It's
Game over.
Oh my god, dude. How is this thing gonna survive next year? Tell me what GTA looks like on this thing, dude. It's gonna be a goddamn skeleton. It's gonna be a friggin' wireframe. We got one P, one Phil Ness. Holy crap. You got one P left.
You're my #1 customer.
There it is. Oh my god. Hit that like button. Ultimate Grinders and VIPs. The lies of 1P. I can't believe it. How? What is this S gonna look like? And then you're telling me we're looking, he's just like, it looks like the PS5. Dude, we're gonna have another column here, and it's gonna be a PS5 Pro, and it's gonna make the S look like bathwater. Dirty ass bathwater. It's insane. Insane. And what are they gonna do? They're gonna say, oh, we got a portable device that runs the game at 480p. Holy crap. And tell me what developer asked for that piece of shit Series S. They didn't want it. It was a Microsoft plan to go down
to
the lowest common denominator as a weak ass box to sell Game Pass. That's what it was. That's what it was. It was the way of Microsoft to sell Game Pass, and it didn't work. Because what happened was that the console right before the S was more powerful than the S. They didn't talk to devs. Yeah, exactly. Just hit more storage. I don't know, man. GTA might, dude. I don't know, Aaron. I have no clue what the hell they're gonna do with this thing. But man, it is. This is detrimental. Like, this is horrible. And you wonder why there's no performance modes in the S, because look at the resolutions they gotta run. 460p to get a performance mode. Is that even wanting? Who's going to play that on like a 50-inch screen, a 60-inch screen? It will look like a disaster. So that's why I think a lot of these devs skip performance modes of the S. They had like who wants their game to be shown at 480p, 420p, 460p? Who wants their game? You think the artist that drew all those little green arrows and that all those textures on there, you think they want their game? Oh yeah, run it at 430p. It's fine. Like, it's not even worth it. That's why, and that's if they can run it. So you wonder why the S gets skipped so much in just fidelity and performance, but also performance mode skip, because it's running at to get it to run, it's like you gotta basically just destroy your game in the lowest thing. And again, that may work if you're playing on a 7-inch screen. If you're playing on an 8-inch portable device, you may be able to get away with that low resolution. But not when you have a console that's hooked up to a OLED, like a C4, or a projector, or a 60-inch TV. It's gonna look bad. The console's supposed to be good for the TV. That's why I think they're gonna gut that S and they're gonna throw it in a little portable computer, because these are the resolutions that you want to get on a little friggin' 5-inch screen. I have no clue. I have no friggin' clue what this thing's gonna look like. Man, oh man. that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And one thing I wanted to talk about, any other topics besides the and then this whole thing that came up, and I'll probably be talking about this on Friday if I do a show on Friday. But man, yeah, Sony shut down that Concurd. Herman Hulse went in there, drop kicked them. He went in there and said clean house. But we kind of knew this. I kind of knew that they were in trouble. Like, I didn't think that they were gonna repurpose them at all. And Herman thought they were gonna have good stuff here. He was hopeful when they bought them. But yeah, man, they shut him down, which is pretty sad, dude. Josh, you really thought that they were gonna like reuse them for somewhere? I don't think so. I didn't think so. They were two. They were and then also that mobile stuff, which is good. I don't care about that mobile stuff, but yeah, shutting them down, dude. It got an update last week. The update was the kill switch. That's what it was. But I want to talk more about it on Friday. But I want to let you know, like, kind of my initial thoughts on this thing was like, and I don't know if you agree, but I really think that the Firewalk Studio purchase, the Jade Raymond one, I really think that these were made out of knee-jerk reactions to trying to get this. I think the Activision deal shook the shit out of Sony. That's what I think. I think that Microsoft going after Activision, Jim Ryan shit in his diaper. And I think that they went on to this acquisition type thing and try to scoop up, and then their position for live service games, because they knew that a goose was gonna be taken from them, and they didn't know how Microsoft was gonna leverage Call of Duty. I think now that they're seeing it, they're like, oh damn, well, we panicked. We thought they were gonna pull it all from us, man. We panicked and bought studios of first-person service games and all this other stuff. And we panicked, and now they're seeing the way Microsoft's handling this Call of Duty thing. Like, dude, why did we panic? We gave Microsoft more credit than they deserved. They just left. They need us. Isn't that crazy? They need us. But I think at the time when they thought of the potential and the cut and all that stuff, they just went ahead and just bought something. Like, we need a game to replace that. Because remember, that was Jim Ryan's complaint, right? Like, he was like, oh, we can never build what Call of Duty is. Like, we can never get it. And he was retiring too. So like, he was just like, yo, let's set up some service games to compete in case Microsoft pulls a fast one with Call of Duty. But I think they got shook. I think Microsoft kind of made Sony get shook with this whole thing. And they went out and they just bought studios because they never worked with them before. Like, before that, when did they Fair Games and this Firewalk? Meanwhile, they had Housemarque working their ass off making games. Right? They had Housemarque making all those little action games and stuff for the PS3 and PS4, and that wasn't until they made Returnal they're like, okay, now you could be with us. Insomniac made all those Ratchet and Clanks, made all those games for them. They even have the Sunset Overdrive. But no, you make Spider-Man, now we'll buy you, Insomniac. Like, there was always like kind of like a rite of passage to get acquired by Sony. And these studios, this Firewalk, Jade Raymond's, they were unproven. They were a bunch of kind of people that just came together and they bought them. Really? You want to just say, hey, just put your game on? Like, why would you buy them? Why wouldn't you just work with them? Going, hey, here's some money, make your Concurd game. Why would you incorporate them if you didn't believe? And I think it was all that Bungie wine and dine deal. Bungie was on the table. Activision didn't want them. And I think they bought Bungie and they're like, yo, we got Bungie who knows how to do live service games. Let's get a bunch of like other studios like Firewalk who have service game stuff, and Bungie will help us kind of get that. And they realized that Bungie was a piece of shit. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. Another, I think, knee-jerk reaction to this whole thing. They just made bad decisions, and I think that Activision thing shook them up and made them make these mistakes. And it's a shame that people have to lose their jobs and studios need to be shut down. and games need to be canceled and removed because of just stupid executive decisions. And you don't want to say blame Microsoft, but Microsoft made a move and Sony didn't. And I think Sony thought they were ahead of the moves. Dude, they got they were looking for Bethesda. They were getting Ghostwire Tokyo, which by the way is going to be in PlayStation Plus. They got Ghostwire Tokyo. They did Deathloop, and they were like, oh, we got Bethesda. And they always thought they were probably a step ahead of Microsoft. And then Microsoft's like, well, guess what, guys? You've been milking the cows. Well, guess what? We're buying the farm. And someone's like, oh shit, what are we going to do for milk anymore? And I think Microsoft just came and shook them. And the only way they can was throwing money. And I think Sony got shook. I think Sony got intimidated by Microsoft buying these publishers and potentially taking their leverage away and their way to kind of like, lock down some exclusive games. And I think Sony panicked and they made a bunch of stupid decisions. And unfortunately, Concurd is the biggest disaster from them. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, if this was Microsoft, man, we would have been hooting and hollering. Because this is crazy. Microsoft, as bad as they are, didn't even do something like this. Release a game, pull it, refund everybody, and then shut down the studio. I know Microsoft did the opposite. Release a game, was very successful, and then shut down the studio. Which is even stupider. But this is pretty detrimental. Like, this is kind of unheard. Like, especially from Sony to do this. Like, somebody who really values their first party to do something like that. Yeah, and that's right, Niku. Yeah, that my monopoly. They were like, we got to scoop up stuff. Acquisition season, But I think I know. This is the thing that I wanted to put out there, and I tweeted this out today. And I'll tell you guys first. So you may hear some of the stuff extra when you do my next show, but I think we could all put this acquisition shit to bed. I don't want to see people buy studios anymore. Like, I'm done. This acquisition shit has only yielded more bullshit and more changes for the worst for us. And that even doesn't even just go with Sony and Microsoft and their acquisitions. It even goes along with Tencent and Embracer, all those piece of shit companies. They shut down all those studios. They shut down all those IPs. What was it? I forget now. From Eidos, they canceled the what was that futuristic first person? Deus Ex. That, like, we've lost Volition after Saints Row, gone. Amazon messing around with the Tomb Raider IP. I think we're done. This acquisition shit, this consolidation, it needed to stop because it is killing games and franchises and studios. I'd rather see the studio be on its own and go out on its own than be bought, get that hope, and then get just dissolved. And that's the thing I put out there. I'm like, I'm sick of this acquisition shit. I don't want to see anybody buy anybody. Use what you got. But you're right. The acquisition war is over. I hope it is, because it's been horrible. Games are not better on the Microsoft. We saw, I always said this. I'm like, Tango Gameworks. They made Ghostwire Tokyo before they were even acquired. Hey, it was great. It got, released, exclusive. And they're gone now. They're gone. Erased. Gone. Like, that's crazy. Because Microsoft needed to cut some things. Who knows what happens to Machine Games after Janky Jones? You see all those people on the Call of Duty list. B-Nox, goddamn Applebee's. Everybody's working on Call of Duty. I was seeing logos for freaking Pizza Hut. I was like, but shit, Pizza Hut contributed to this game? There was like Applebee's, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, B-Nox, the We Happy Fuse. I don't know. There were names on that thing. There's like 40 goddamn studios working on Call of Duty on the first opening screen. I thought I was watching a goddamn infomercial. I was like, holy shit, what? They're like Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Beanox. It's like Toys for Bob. I'm like, they're still there? Like, what? Raven, Applebee's, Roy Rogers. I'm like, holy shit, Roy Rogers, they brought it back. Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, holy shit, everybody worked on Call of Duty. It's crazy. Like 30 names on there. You think they're all going to be working on Call of Duty? You think they're all intact forever? You think Microsoft wants 50 studios all split up working on Call of Duty? Dude, they're all going to be consolidated. Because Microsoft's not going to keep all that headroom. They're going to put them into one studio. They're going to rename them. I bet you next year or so, they're going to rename them. Just like you have Halo Studios, and be like, yeah, you're all Call of Duty Studios. Call of Duty Studios, there they are. And then we're going to lay off a whole bunch of you, and then we're going to have only about 100 of you working here. You think they want 40 people, or 40 of these studios, Ravens, Beanox, Toys for Bob, Fred and Flintstone, I don't know, everybody on this thing. Booty, exactly. Booty's like, I got to go to all these places, put them in one place, put them in front of the Starbucks. That's what the Booty said. I want them in front of Starbucks. But yeah, it's just insane. And then Sony doing this stuff with the whole disaster with Bungie. And what's crazy is I got a lot of, if you look at some of the comments from Monday's show, some people didn't like that, that Bungie thing. But like I said before, this is Concurd. Now we go back and look at that video. Do you think that marathon reveal of that clown sitting there with the goddamn jean jacket talking about the game was the best way to launch the hype for a service game that may be releasing next year? After seeing, we're going to learn from Concurd. That was my point about going through that. I'm like, if you learned about how not to do a service game, well, get dude in the jean jacket to stop talking about Marathon and show it. This is not going to get people excited for this game. And if you learned anything from Concurd, you need the social aspect of these service games. You need to get that influencer hype, that streamer hype, the people that want to play, the people that want to be invested and level up. Those are key factors that you got to do in a service game, in a live service game. I hate it. But if you're going to learn anything, you got to get the buy-in of the community, because you saw what happened. If the community doesn't want the game is over. And that's what happened. You said, oh, it was an all right game. Yeah, but nobody wanted to play it. And because you didn't put a campaign and all this other shit in there, and you just put it out there and said, we're going to do episodic videos, nobody wanted it. Josh says Neo Koi is one of the I'm stunned by. I thought Sony had the right plan to make mobile team work on mobile games instead of try pushing console. You know what, Josh? I think the issue too with mobile games is that it's so friggin' messy with the Google and Apple Play stores and shit like that. I don't even know if Sony even wants to mess around like with that kind of shit. Like, I don't even know. I think they're better with their streaming app on a phone and just call it a day. Like, making mobile games, that market is so freaking competitive. There's so much trash and shit. Just boot up your Play Store and your Apple Store. It's garbage. It's all trash. It has maybe some IP that you know, but it's all garbage. Nobody knows quality. It's a friggin' tap icon. And heaven forbid you charge money for it. Oh man, it better be free. You say, well, we made a quality PlayStation game on iPhone. Well, it's $10.99. They'll be like, excuse me, oh, 10? What? It better be free. I pay later. It's too much. And this is the problem that Sony has. You're trying to put your stuff where there's too much noise. And you're going to face the music. You put Concurd on PC. There's too much noise on PC. Maybe if you made it a curated game that was specific, had some PlayStation IP in it, maybe it would have been received differently. But because you spammed that shit out, you tapped on the door of the PC gamer who is already tuned in to free-to-play games and service games, and Overwatch community is big over there, and you're kind of doing this clone type thing. What's up, RPG? You're gonna fuck around and find out. Maybe if this was a PlayStation exclusive and he threw in some PlayStation IP, maybe some Killzone characters, and threw some people in there and just kind of made it this fun multiplayer game for $30, maybe it wouldn't have been so horribly received. But you tapped into an unknown resource, an unknown area with PC gaming where they get free to play, and that's where a lot of games in early access, free to play, and a lot of that stuff is already established, and you're trying to bring a new thing in there, especially at $40. You're gonna get lit up. And that's what carried a lot of the bullshit. Was the PC dudes like, we don't want this shit, and then the PlayStation players don't want it either. They want the big polished games, and that's another fallacy that they had. Sony didn't release the big single player games to go along with this stuff, and I'm telling you, that's been the issue that Sony's been having. They're waiting, they're letting their shit cook, but the problem is that they're not releasing the news in a cadence that lets people know that they're cooking and or releasing shit. And because it's all you see is this, and no, yeah, they're cooking, but we don't know what they're cooking or what they're going to show. It's sort of like just bad news, bad news, bad news. It's just like, well, what are you doing? Like I said, if they would have said Concord's releasing and then all of a sudden we're getting some Spider-Man, some shit like that, I don't think the PlayStation community would have been maybe so against Concord, but the PC gamers were. The PlayStation gamers didn't want this shit. They didn't like it. And I think Sony should have really embraced Helldivers 2 and push Concord out and say, make it a campaign, work with this, and do something else. Or add to it and come out next year. And just really do Helldivers 2. Because I feel like that's something that they should have really embraced and continue to put expansion packs and things like that, which I felt like kind of like Helldivers 2. A lot of the kind of extra content, new enemies, like we should be getting that now. That should have been something that was ready for now. A holiday update for Helldivers 2, a new planet, new enemies, new areas. Here's new vehicles added. They just kind of stopped. You got some success for that. Why would you put out 2 service games in the same year? That's stupid. And they messed around. And you know what happened. Bad decisions on them. Yeah. But Josh, don't you think that it's time for Helldivers expansion with vehicles, maybe new enemy types, new things going on? I think it's time to kind of do like a big 2.0 or 1.5 for Helldivers. Like that's what I would have done. Embrace that shit. But they didn't. They kind of just let that go, and they're like, oh, here's another one. Well, there you go. Yeah, see, Aaron, I know, I got all the battle passes. I bought the battle passes. It's like, and they're just throwing tokens they're throwing all those badges at you. You go in there, you have like 500 badges. You just basically buy the whole battle pass, and you just sit there and you're like, okay. Like, I don't know. I just, knee-jerk reaction, and it's a shame that they lost their jobs to 210 people. And then Firewalk had 172 and Neon Koi at 38. But there's been new things going on. No, I know there's been new things going on, Lord, but like where are those vehicles? Did they put those I haven't seen them yet. Have they put those vehicles in there, like that Warthog type thing and stuff like that they were teasing? Because they put the mech in there, but like I could go for a couple of other mechs. That would be cool. But I'm sure there's stuff going on. I'm not saying that they abandoned it, but I'm like, we need a big update, like the big one. A new planets. No vehicles yet. Yeah, they were teasing that stuff back in February, March. When they released it, like I thought, see what happened was is that when they did that whole mech thing and they made everybody release the mech and stuff, I thought that was going to be kind of an ongoing thing. Like every couple of months we'll get a new vehicle or a new thing there and there. Like we're all going to level up and unlock it and stuff like that. But it stopped after the mech. Like that was it. Like, okay, yeah, no, we're done. I was like, oh, and then I saw the vehicles. Like, oh, they're going to have vehicles now. That'll be, nah, that's it. And I'm not saying it's bad. But I'm saying if I was Sony, I wouldn't like double down on another service game months later and expect that you're going to get some sort of following. Especially when you saw the feedback from the beta. Like if that wasn't a sign, they just went ahead and looked and said, no, we're still going to do it, which just shows their arrogance and ignorance with that. But it sucks that it happened, you know? But this is what happens when they, they had chemical weapons? Oh, that's cool. I definitely want to jump back into it. Oh, the new Warbond tomorrow. Okay. And then, you know, the other thing I wanted to just gloss over here while we got everybody here. Hit that like button. VIPs, hit that like button. But one of the other things is that, you know, these financials, I'm not going to go into them too much. But Microsoft, again, is just next week, Sony's financials. So Microsoft went ahead and did this. Gaming revenue is grew 43%, up 44%, including 43 points of net impact from Activision. Dude, it'd be zero. Xbox content services grew 61%, including 53 points of net impact from Activision. Like, dude, if it didn't have Activision, it would have been a flat line or a loss. And on top of that, Xbox hardware again declined by 29%. It's all ABK. ABK is running the gaming division at there. So do you think like all these games like Fable and Perfect Dark and all these other studios, you think that any of them, once they come out, you think there's sequels coming out of these games? You think that Microsoft's going to be like making more Clockwork? What else? Clockwork Revolution. Where's that? Do you think like a lot of, I think this is what I think. Given these numbers, I think Microsoft turns into the ABK studio, one trick pony, Call of Duty every year, and they drop a bunch of ho-hum MIDI little games throughout the year from their other studios. Passion projects, AA, little stuff here and there. I don't think, and then maybe they drop a Halo or a Gears somewhere in that thing, but they're just going to become exactly what Activision became. Once they got that success of Call of Duty, I said they got 30 studios, all of them making Call of Duty. That's it. And that's what's going to happen. Microsoft, it's all Activision. And guess what next year is going to be? If they're up 43%, and they're 43 points of Activision, what's next year going to be? They're going to be up 0 because now you're comparing with Activision and with Activision. And I think they know that. They know that, dude, like, next year, our year over year is going to be horrible because we're going to be comparing with Activision to with Activision. Right now, they're comparing no Activision last year and Activision this year, and that's why they're up 43%. Next year, they're going to be, oh, yeah, well, 43, yeah, we're 35% this year. We lost 7. Oh, damn, we lost. Yeah, we lost. Because it's going to be flatlined next year. Especially, you don't have a Treyarch Call of Duty next year. I don't know. We'll see next year's Call of Duty. That'll be the humdinger one. But their hardware, again, hardware down 29 friggin' percent. Grinders. How low can you go? Like, it's almost as low as the P's of the S. And look at this. And it's not just low. It's not just low. It is low. Like, this is, shout out to Zoobs. He put these things together, and these are real. Like, this is what it is. They were down 29%. Last quarter, they were down 42%. The quarter before that, they were down 31%. Then they were up 3, down 7, down 13, down. So if you look, quarter 1, 425 to quarter 1, 24. down 7, down 29, and they were up. And the reason why they were up so high in 21 and 22, that was for the S. This was everybody, and then it just stopped. This was everybody coming from the previous generation, 21, 22. That was it. And then there you go. It's been devastating since the end of 2022. For the last 2 years, Microsoft's been losing. Minus double digits, minus. Like, it is going down. Like, you know, you're talking minus 29% on a minus of last year. You're selling less than you sold the previous year. And what's crazy is that you spent $80 billion. And you spent all this friggin' money. The difference between you in 2020, 2021 and 2025 is that you're $80 billion in debt. And you're not moving hardware at all. And like I said before, when you look at their up 43% from the year before, Grinders, that means that Bethesda and Starfield ain't done shit. Like, if you're looking at this, like if you're looking at their if you're looking at this stuff and you're going, yo, so you're telling me that all of ZeniMax, all of Starfield, all of Bethesda IP, all of Elder Scrolls Online, all the remakes of Skyrim, all the games from Bethesda, Machine Games, Wolfensteins, everything that ZeniMax has is zero. The only thing that's carrying you now is Activision. That means all your acquisitions, all your studios, 343, or now Halo Studios, Forza, all those studios you acquired, Hellblades, Ninja Theories. What is the other one that they bought? Oh, they bought the one that made Psychonauts. Everybody, all those studios you bought, Obsidian, everybody, Obsidian, all those studios, Ninja Theory, all them. All of ZeniMax are a big fat zero. They're a zero. Because all your growth is on $80 billion of Activision. A Double Fine. Thank you, Josh. Like, zero. All those moves that you made before last year amounted to no growth at all. Zero growth. Crazy. That's what I can't believe. I can't believe it's 43 up in gaming revenue, all based on Activision. Content and services. You're telling me that all that stuff that I just mentioned amounts to what? 8 points? 8%? Shh. And then, on top of all that, you show the minus of the minuses. And then here you go with Satya's quote. Last week's launch of Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty release ever, setting a record for day one players as well as Game Pass subscribers on launch day. So, day one players and Game Pass subscribers. Oh, but unit sales on PlayStation and Steam were up 60% year over year. Dude, that is a quote from a third-party publisher. That is like, you are talking about the success of your game on your competing platform, PlayStation and Steam. Those are out of your ecosystem. Those are not your ecosystem. That is not Windows app. That is not Windows Cloud. That is PlayStation and Steam. That's where you bring your sales. What about sales on your platform, on Xbox? What about your sales on the Windows Store? PC sales on Windows Store, and PC and sales of console sales. On Xbox, the thing that you made. Oh, no. We got day one players as well as there. And I can already see Don John, all the grinders. You're already seeing what I'm seeing. Well, I got a little a little VIP behind the scenes on this one. You can get a little sneak peek as to this. Find this. This is what Call of Duty said today. Look at this. Satya out there hyping up PlayStation sales. Dude, I can't wait. He should have just pulled out his GameStop PS5 Pro pre-order. Every time Satya talks to investors now, he is talking about PlayStation. He's like, Xbox, who's that? Like, I think now, instead of calling his Xbox a Nintendo, he's going to call it a PlayStation. He's like, oh, Phil, how's our PlayStation doing? Phil's like, what about Xbox? He's like, who? PlayStation. Every time Satya talks to his investors now, he's talking about, he just did his little summary saying putting his games on PlayStation. Satya is a PlayStation. Satya is a pony. Get ready, grinders. There's your new thumbnail. Satya the pony. Phil the goat. Satya the pony. He's an undercover pony. There you go. Satya hyping up PlayStation more than Xbox. He's an undercover pony. There you go. He's always been a fan. Because all he talks about is PlayStation sales and putting his games on PlayStation. But here you go. Call of Duty community making a launch. Look at this. Call of Duty. I was like, oh, thank you. And also, too, all those numbers, the most, the biggest, no real numbers, though. No real numbers. The most, the biggest, the most, the big. That's all they said. The most, the biggest. Well, what's that? The most and the biggest. No new numbers for Game Pass subscribers. No unit sales. And grinders, look. Call of Duty. #1 total players. #1 hours played. #1 total matches in their 3-day opening weekend. #1 to what? So I immediately scratched the Grindhouse head. I was like, Call of Duty opening weekend records. Total players, total hours. Well, grinders, why don't we go back? VIPs, hit that like button, grinders, ultimate grinders. Why don't we go see how they're reported Modern Warfare 2? Oh. Activision Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has become the #1 top-selling open weekend ever in franchise, delivering more than 800 million worldwide in sell-through following the first 3 days from its release on October 2022. The blockbuster tops any biggest worldwide box office openings, surpassing Top Gun Maverick, Doctor Strange, and the Multiverse in worldwide box office combined. Some things make you go, You could tell now they're a Microsoft company. They're talking about how many sandwiches we're eating. #1 players. What players? Dude, 2 years ago, they were dropping 3 days. They were beating out Doctor Strange and shit. They'll beat out movies. Now we're talking about how many squats people took in a game. Oh, really? Well, grinders, guess what? This is not Modern Warfare 2, the original. This is Modern Warfare 2, the remake. This is October 2022. We're not going back that far. No, grinders, just 2 little measly years ago. Actually, 2 years before Phil spread his dirty ass cheeks and went over there to offer them the deal. You see how the tones have changed. Modern Warfare 2 just 2 years ago, 800 million worldwide sell-through. Dude, it was sell-through, bitch. They weren't even like sell to stores. We're like sell-through, bitch. First 3 days from its release, sales. Now they're talking about one player. Now this year, they're talking this. #1 hours played in the first 3 days. Setting a new day one opening weekend. #1 in total players. #1 in total matches. The matches. Dude, 2 years ago, you were saying you were better than Top Gun Maverick. You were better than Tom Cruise, bitch. You said you were better than Tom Cruise. Now you're #1 in hours? Because I can tell you right now, 2 years ago, November 1st, 2022, almost 2 years to the day. You were talking about how much money you made, sold. Now you hyping up. You have the #1 total players? Oh, you really are a Microsoft bitch now. Go ahead, tell me how many sandwiches were eaten, how many grenades were thrown. Because that matters. Find this. Let's go. Let's see some more. I got another little tidbit here. Where's this one? Let's see. Did I save this one too? Yeah. All about sales. Horse of a different color now, right? Just 2 years ago. This is not even the original one. 80 million worldwide. Blockbuster, any world, they were comparing themselves to the box office. And you think that Satya didn't even mention. He said sales. Stutter and Satya was stuttering on his ass. Yeah. Activate the biggest new day one opening weekend records, making it the biggest Call of Duty day one. And then Satya just talking about the PlayStation and Steam sales and not Xbox at all. And the biggest Game Pass numbers without giving new numbers. Yeah. Here's Satya. Quote, set a new Q1 record for revenue and average revenue per subscriber. Well, guess what, grinders? They increased the price to $20 a month just a measly 1 month ago. So tell me, you think you're going to get more revenue when you're taking the $17 people and charging now $20? Just over a month ago. So it's not because you got more subscribers, it's because you're charging the same people more money. Dude, this shit's a failure. The fact that he didn't come running out there talking about the new Game Pass number and what it did monetarily and what it did. Dude, they're hiding behind it. How? You got Call of Duty. It cannibalized the shit out of them. Dude, I'm telling you right now, they probably never seen Call of Duty numbers so friggin' low in sales on their platform. I think it destroyed Xbox. I think so. I think the console, it sold nothing. That's why he didn't even mention it. He mentioned, oh, well, it went up 60% on Steam and PlayStation. You're comparing against last year's train wreck. $70 DLC. This one's a full-fledged game with 3 modes in it. Yeah, you expect it to be better because it has a full-ass campaign. It has co-op. It has zombies. It has a full map. It's a full-fledged game. Last year's was a $70 trash DLC. But the fact that he didn't even say the word sales and Xbox tell you everything you need to know. They set new records for monthly active users in the quarter. More players than ever play our games across devices. Dude, more. Where are the numbers? What do you mean more? The most? What? It could be 2 people and now it's 3 people. We got the most players we've ever had. We had 2. We had 100. Now we have 101 players. The most players we've ever had ever on a day one. He's probably like, feels like Satya. We had about 10,000 people playing today. Great. Call of Duty. Yeah, it's 10,001 today. We had the most players ever in Xbox history. It could be 1 to 2. It could be 10,000 to 1 million. You won't know. And the fact that they're not telling you, I tell you, it's the prior. there's probably like about another few more people. Because if it was a big number, Stutter and Satya won't be stuttering, giving out these things. Yeah, exactly. You're right, Ron M. Yeah, you could tell when they the biggest ever for Xbox. It's like, dude, what was the biggest ever before this? I don't know, but it's the biggest ever. Is there some sort of scoreboard or something that we know when the last biggest ever was? Nope. But this was the biggest ever. Trust me, dude. Trust me, dude. Oh. Biggest ever. Well, there you go. There are your numbers. I tell you right now. It went right to how many sandwiches we're eating. I've never seen that before, ever with Call of Duty. We've seen... And that's where it's so jarring was, guys, just 2 years ago when they were not owned by Microsoft, they were saying that they were the biggest blockbuster opening, and they were comparing themselves to the movie industry. They were comparing themselves to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Top Gun Maverick, that their opening was bigger than those movies. How crazy is that? Nah, Mr. B, I didn't talk Janky Jones. I might save the jank. We might save Janky Jones hands-on. Jank-a-wank and some of those hands-on. We'll do that. But I just can't believe we went for how many jumps were done, how many grenades were thrown in Call of Duty. Number one in players. Number one, who? What are you talking about, number one in players? You gotta make your money back, dude. 2 years ago, they were telling that they beat the box office worldwide numbers of Top Gun. They were better than Tom Cruise and Marvel. Now, number one total matches. Were those early disconnects? Were those people trying to get in? Number one in total match. Number one for what? Number one what? The biggest Call of Duty total matches ever? I don't know, Gyro. I'm going to wait this. I don't know what I'm going to play first on the PS5 Pro. I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited for that thing. Sayo, I have no clue what the sales are. I have no clue. Are that high? I don't think so. I think if the sales were high, and I think if it did what it did, I think the problem is I think they saw. And this is the other point that I wanted to make too. I'm not talking Jane Jones, but this is another thing. This guy John Wall. Well, actually, before I get to his little thing, I wanted to just show you this. Hold screen, please. Yeah. See. No, where was it? This quote, I think this is the future. This is what I think, because this the first quote that I came to. Last week's launch of Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty release ever, setting a record for day one players, not day one sales, day one players, as well as Gamepass subscriber ads on launch day. So I guess they beat their record of Starfield, because I think that was the last time they said they beat it. So Starfield and Call of Duty beat Starfield. Of course it would. But then he talks unit sales. The only sales are not on Xbox and play and sales on Xbox Cloud, because I guess you could buy games on there. I don't know, like, Xbox, Play, PC, Xbox console store, their ecosystem. No words of sale. That's players. Unit sales on PlayStation and Steam are also up over 60% year over year. He's hyping up the sales on other platforms. And I think this is their future with all the games. And I think it's going to be like trickling out here and there. Janky Jones is another of them. Like, I'm sure they'll talk about the sales of Janky Jones when it releases on PlayStation, but they're not going to talk about the sales of Janky Jones in December. But when it releases on PlayStation, I'm sure they'll bring up sales if it even worthwhile. If Janky Jones gets good reviews. But I think this is the future. I think this is the plan, is just release the games on Game Pass and sell them on PlayStation and Steam. And the PlayStation and Steam hopefully will offset the tremendous loss that we're hitting by putting this game in Game Pass on our platform. That's another reason why I think they don't care about the console. They want that console to go away because they just want Game Pass subscribers that are basically ubiquitous across all their platforms. And I think that's the reason why that they really don't care about the Xbox. How do you have Microsoft, who builds the console, not even mention the sales when they're talking about other platform sales? They don't say unit sales on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam were up. No, unit sales on PlayStation. So that tells you right there, unit sales, they did not make any kind of sales on Xbox. But I think they're going to use, and you're right, Michael, I think it's a horrible plan because they are banking, they are gambling that PlayStation and Steam are going to carry their mistakes of putting this, their risk of putting it in Game Pass. And they're going to hope that their payoff of putting this game in the service kicks off their service before it cannibalizes the whole business model. That's what I think. I think PC Game Pass goes up, Gyro. I think that's the next thing that's going up. That's going to go up to 15. I think I bet you by January, February, they're going to raise that price. And they'll keep $20 for now. And I think Game Pass price goes up even more. And that's another way, Michael, how to fix their plan. To pacify the situation, because they are going to bank on PlayStation and Steam to sell so that they could take the loss on putting it in Game Pass and cannibalizing their own sales. That's the plan. That's what it is. And I think if they see a game that may potentially sell on PlayStation, then they'll put it there. But I think if they could even have Steam carry some of those sales over them putting it in Game Pass. Yeah, that's it, right? They lost their storefront. They lost their ecosystem. Their ecosystem now is PlayStation and Steam. That's where they're planning to make their money back. And they're doing a loss on their own devices. And they're hoping that that could pacify the losses, because they realized just by putting their stuff in their services was just losing shit. It was just losing money. It was not selling consoles. It was not gaining subscribers. It flatlined. People were jumping off. It wasn't doing anything. They were just losing. But now by putting the game on PlayStation, they get a bit of life there. There's a little bit of a lifeline of like, oh, all right, we got some sales of this game now. At least we could milk off of that until the next one. And that's what it looks like their strategy is. Janky Jones is another one. And I think more are going to come next year. Whether or not day and date, but if they see potential for a game that could sell on PlayStation, they're going to port it over. Because the loss of the development of that and trying to get that money back, they got to get somewhere where it sells, and they destroy their own platform for anybody to buy anything. They got to give it away for free because they made a deal with the devil. They said, put it in Game Pass. And what they're going to do, I think, is just keep jacking up the price of Game Pass. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up to $25 by next year when the next Call of Duty comes out. Right before next year's Call of Duty, I bet you it goes up another $2. Just like these other services are doing that. I think it goes up. And each year before Call of Duty, they increase it another $1. You'll be at $27 in 4 years. That, in addition to the sales of the other platforms, will help them as a loss leader. That's what I think they're going to do. And then on top of that, you look at this. This other guy said this thing. Because they said right here, here's another little tidbit here. No, where is the one? Where's the other one that came up here? John Welfare here. It says here, either Microsoft is not shipping many consoles this holiday or will have a massive price cut because the guidance they just gave out points to hardware doing less than 1 billion the next quarter. Even though hardware did better than expected this quarter, but it's a very low expectation for hardware next year. The next quarter. That's the holiday quarter. And Grindhouse, let me bring up a little thing. Their prediction of doing less than 1 billion the next quarter. That the consoles are going to be down. Amy in the hood. Amy boys in the hood. Where is she? She said it right here. Yeah. Then Satya doubles down here again. Another quote. This speaks to our strategy of meeting gamers where they are by enabling them to play more games across the screens they spend time on. They're not spending time on an Xbox. They're not value to Satya. Put them on PlayStation. But where's the Amy in the hoods? Where's Amy boys in the hood? There it is. So here, Microsoft CFO cautions. So this is it. So look, Microsoft CFO says Black Ops 6 launch saw the most Game Passes ads in launch history. But then in the same thing, he also cautions that revenue in Xbox may be lower year over year because Call of Duty is now in Game Pass, which means the revenue there is recognized month over month versus at a single moment. So just because it's the highest on launch day doesn't mean over time it is going to be the most profitable or the best Call of Duty. So he tells you right there, the revenue in Xbox is going to be lower year over year because now the game, he just basically admitted that this game is in Game Pass and it's cannibalized. The CFO, the money guy, the Phil Spencer enemy. There you go. Revenue in Xbox will be lower. They also say that the console is going to be lower. And Grindhouse, don't you remember that there was like, oh no, they're pulling out of Saudi Arabia. Remember, they're pulling consoles out of Saudi Arabia. Well, if Microsoft's guidance points to hardware doing less than 1 billion in the next quarter, doesn't it add a little value to the whole yeah, they're not pushing consoles anymore, right? I thought they were pulling consoles out of Saudi Arabia to get ready for the holidays. They were reshifting it to the US. Remember all those capping? Oh no, they're taking them out of Saudi Arabia and shipping them to the US for the holidays. Oh. Well, don't you think they'll have a big more hope for their hardware if they're shuffling them around that much? No. Either they're going to do fire sales and get these things out of there, or they're just not going to ship that many. Because why would they? It is minus 29% on top of the minus 31% last year, 40 whatever last year. It is they are just making that shit fade out. Fade to black. Fade to X. Exactly, Ron M. They're not trying to grow that market. Like the lady said. Oh, if you can't find an Xbox, you can play on a phone, on an Amazon stick. Yeah, where's Pacta with, oh, it's going to make 30 billion in revenue, 7 million Game Pass. Then where is Pacta? That's a good one, Michael. Where is, there's your Friday show right there. We're going to pull Michael Pacta's quotes and put them next to these quotes. 7 million new Game Pass subscribers. Oh, really? Shit, if it was 7 million, they went to 40 something million. Don't you think Satya will be stutter free? I think Satya will be stutter free. Yeah. No, because I think they know that it just boosts. And watch. I told you already on Monday, and I said it last week. This Call of Duty had campaign and multiplayer launch on the same day, and that's the first time in a long time they've done that. People played the campaign a week early if they pre-ordered it. So you had a lot of people funneling through Call of Duty for campaign, and they don't have nothing to do with multiplayer. So and also played on Game Pass for $15 or $20 or $11 on PC to blast through the campaign and never see it again. So get ready, because they strategically made campaign and multiplayer launch on the same day. And I bet you people jumped on that weekend, played through the campaign, streamed it, and shut it off because they have nothing to do with multiplayer because that multiplayer crowd has already been established. So I expect this to be a nice ski slope of a fallout. And I think Satya, knowing that, saying like, oh yeah, the 1 month, 1 day, we did great. 1 day. Well, sorry, there's another 364 more of them, Satya. So I don't know. I think that their projection of the hardware have been just, yeah, it sucks. So they don't even think that Call of Duty in the holidays is going to move consoles. They didn't even bundle the game with the consoles to even show you. They increased the price of the consoles and didn't even iterate a mini version. They just pulled out the vapor chamber. They pulled out the disk drive and called it a day. They didn't even make it a slim model. Make it a smaller tower because you don't have the disk drive. They didn't do shit. But yeah, where's Pacta? He pulled numbers out of his ass in his bum ass room. Needs a haircut and needs a shave. He used to do interviews in a suit in LA on a nice big window. Now he does them in his basement. And it looks like he just put on a sweatshirt and they found him in the streets. And he comes out with these numbers and people still listen to him. Told you, he's the Yeti Mush of gaming. Whatever he says, do the opposite. And we already see Call of Duty. I've never seen Call of Duty hide behind its numbers before. And just show you 2 years ago, I think this is the most telling thing. Just 2 years ago, this is what they are now on the Microsoft, on the $80 billion. This is what Call of Duty's turned into. You wouldn't even seen Activision in your lifetime go #1 total players, #1 hours played, #1 matches. Dude, Big Booty Bobby was out there comparing himself to friggin' Doctor Strange and Tom Cruise 2 years ago, talking about 800 million worldwide sell-throughs. Now they're talking about how many people took a dump in the corner, how many people teabagged. Please, that tells you all you need to know right there. The difference of 2 years and how they're protecting numbers, and it shows you this is the same franchise. This is a comeback. 2 years ago, not under Microsoft, they were dropping their their weekend opening sales numbers. They did this last year with Modern Warfare 3, right? Yeah, exactly. As soon as Phil got his measly thing, oh, you don't talk about sales anymore. But meanwhile, Phil says it's a business. He has to make his money back. They're not making it back on subscription. They're not making it back. But we'll see. We will see, Grindhouse. But that's the haunted Halloween. Those are some horrific numbers. That's horrific news. But Grindhouse, I just want to thank you again for all the ultimate grinders, all the VIPs. This is a thank you show for you, the VIPs, and for everybody that supports the channel through the memberships. I just wanted to give something, a show just for you. Just for you to show my appreciation and of your time and of all your contributions and you know, just coming here and having somebody to talk to. So I'm at least I'm talking to some people here and not just an empty room on that. But I really genuinely thank everybody for everything. And yeah, this show was for you to kind of give you just a sneak peek of what, you know, probably go into some topics on Friday. If I do the show on Friday, let's see, you may just get one this week on that one, but I'll be back next week on the Monday night show. There, back to Mondays. But I want to thank everybody. Hit that like button. And yeah, thank you again for everything. And yeah, hopefully I'll show you some tech. Went over some topics of the day that I want to talk about. And yeah, but thank you again. Have a happy Halloween if you celebrate Halloween. Be careful out there. And I'm going to drop you with the brand new song because you give you a little something more special here. An awesome song that I saved to the night. Here it is. A haunted nightmare on Phil Ness Street. Gaming Grindhouse, new music exclusive. Right here, right now. Let's get him out here. Phil Ness. He's ready. Nightmare on Phil Ness Street.
On Phil Ness Street, the shadows creep. Night falls thick like a void so deep. Knock, knock goes the sound of dread. Tricks only here, no treats instead. Jack-o'-lantern grins so wide. Gamepass giving like a threat outside. Lock your doors, close every pane. Phil Ness coming like a ghostly chain. Nightmare on Phil Ness Street. Won't fall for that deceit. Gamepass isn't what you seek. In the night, don't make a peep. Under moonlight, whispers grow. Who is next, you never know. Hide beneath your blanket tight. Phil Ness prowls by candlelight. Trick or treat, no safe retreat. Gamepass drags you to your feet. Windows shut, the curtains drawn. Stay unseen till break of dawn. Footsteps echo down the lane. Phil Ness laughs like falling rain. Gamepass glimmers in the dark. Don't reach out, it leaves a ship mark. Jack-o'-lantern grins so wide. Gamepass giving like a threat outside. Lock your doors, close every pane. Phil Ness coming like a ghostly chain. Nightmare on Phil Ness Street. Won't fall for that deceit. Gamepass isn't what you seek. In the night, don't make a peep. Nightmare on Phil Ness Street. Won't fall for that deceit. Gamepass isn't what you seek. In the night, don't make a peep.